Welcome to Golf Tips. My name is Trevor Moore, teaching professional with Advantage Golf Academy down at Cottonwood Coulee Golf Course. And we have a spectacular guest with us today, Mr. Dustin Lang, physiotherapist from Ridge Spine and Sports Center. And Dustin has had the pleasure of working with a lot of great players at a lot of different levels. Dustin, tell us about some of your experience to this point.
Well, like you said, I'm a physiotherapist by trade, and I've been very fortunate to have worked the Canadian Skins game for a few years, and I've also worked with players that have been on a nationwide tour and a world long drive competition. And through that, I've just seen how golfers try to prepare themselves to be able to perform better and help prevent injury.
And you've done a lot of work to educate yourself on very golf-specific pieces of your career and your job, and some of them I've had the chance to use myself. So we have you here for the next 3 weeks running through some stretching and flexibility exercises which will help with our mobility, but ultimately not only health, but will help with your golf swing. And one of the ones that's near and dear to my heart is this first stretch you're going to show me, which really starts from the ground up, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And as you know, the golf swing, it starts with the feet. And if your feet aren't doing what they should be doing, it puts excessive stress on the knees, the hip, the back, and it goes all the way up the chain. And I've actually treated people who have had neck issues or back issues, and one of the things we had to start with is a foot, and it was incredible how much it changed their swing, their movement, so that it took stress off those areas.
Absolutely. Now, one of the things we typically think of a golf cart for when we go play is for sitting and riding, but you're going to change our outlook on that a little bit.
Okay, so this first stretch is one I really like a lot, and as we just talked about, the foot is so important for the golf swing. Now, the one thing that we have to think about the foot is people don't realize is the foot moves in 3 dimensions when we swing. So it's crucial that we have all those movements. So the 3 dimensions of movement are straight ahead, sideways, and rotation. And what I'm going to demonstrate here is we're going to look at working on the right foot. So what we're going to do is we're going to position the right foot. We're going to bend the knee because that simulates what we do in the golf swing. And what we're going to do with the left leg is we're going to swing it in the 3 dimensions. And what that'll do is it'll help loosen up the right foot. So the first dimension, what I do is I'd swing it front and back. And as I'm swinging that, I just keep the right foot where it is, and it is moving around while it's planted. And I'd probably do that for about 20 seconds. And then the second dimension I'd go sideways. And again, I'd do that for about 20 seconds, and then I go to the third dimension, and that would be rotation. And again, do that for about 20 seconds. I would switch feet, and I would get ready to go for the first tee.
And I like this stretch. I think the thing that's really neat about it is when you look at the foot that's actually being stretched, you almost don't even see the movements, but really we call them maybe micro movements, and that's really what's happening in the golf swing is these little movements with that foot. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And it's the one thing that's really neat about the body is how it functions is different when the foot's planted, when the foot's in the air. And so when the foot is planted like that, like you said, there are movements happening. They're not really stand out to you to the naked eye, but they're actually happening. And it's actually very specific to the golf swing, because again, when we go in our backswing, because we're already in this position, we have to be able to move to the side and rotate to be able to load that backside, the back hip, and then be able to explode through your follow through.
And absolutely, that resonates big with me, because obviously you're aware of my history, and the idea was I've always struggled to really load up on my back foot without my back foot really rolling out of me. I just didn't have the mobility in my ankle, and we've worked really hard on it using that stretch, and I can't believe the difference that has made in my golf swing and the ability to load up and transition my golf swing. And the feet get so forgotten in this whole picture, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's very interesting, because when people start getting that mobility back, one of the first things they'll say is, I can't believe how much easier my swing feels. And they'll say, you know, I'm not just say they can hit the ball further, but they'll say my golf swing just feels easier. I don't feel as tired. I don't feel as sore, and it's just because they're moving more efficiently.
Yeah, efficiently is the word I love in there. Excellent. Well, thanks for being here today, Dustin, and we look forward to having you back. We'll see you next week as we grow the stretches upward.
And as you take a step, you're going to take your trail hand and you're going to go underneath, and your other hand you're going to go over the top of the head.